My name's Alyssa, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make sourdough starter so that way you can feed your family with nothing but flour and water. I'm going to be using some stuff out of the sourdough kit that I got on TikTok shop. However, none of it is necessary. You can do everything without it. It comes with some instructions that I'm not going to use. A bread lame scorer piece. I don't know how to pronounce it. It comes with a scraper, a spatula, one of these things, this, the band, the temperature strip, collapsible bannetons. It also comes with this top that you can put on the jar, but you can use a regular mason jar and a rag. That's what I was using before this. It's completely not necessary, but let's get started. First thing that you're going to need is a glass jar, whether it is one of these or not. You're going to need some bread flour. I think all-purpose flour works too, but I've never tried all-purpose flour. This is the specific bread flour that I use. However, I'm going to use the stuff that I already have open. You can use a scale or you can measure it with measuring cups. Pretty much all you have to do is mix equal parts bread flour and warm water. So I'm just going to do a quarter cup. And this is not that deep. You don't have to be super precise. Pour that in. And then you should probably use filtered water. Tap water probably will work fine, but I've had more success when I use filtered warm water. And then I'm just going to do, I forgot to let you know that I'm using a quarter cup. Quarter cup of flour, quarter cup of water. And then you just want to stir that in. Make sure there are no lumps. Now I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to stand there and watch me. You might have a soupy mess like this after you do equal parts. You don't want a soupy mess. In my experience, now you might be able to make a more liquid. I've never done that, so this is not the video for you if that's the kind of starter that you want to have. I'm going to just slowly add more flour because I have noticed that the thicker it is, the better it works. I only feed mine once a day. Some people feed theirs twice a day. But I don't have the executive function or time or patience for that. All right, it's slowly getting a little thicker. That's still a little more soupy than I typically like mine. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more. All right, we're looking like thick pancake batter now, but I like it even a little thicker than that. And now everybody's is gonna be different based on where you live and how warm or cold your environment is, how humid or how dry. Everybody's is going to vary, so you kind of got to learn how to know if it's thick enough or too thin, or you just have to know what works best for your house and where you live. That takes a little bit of experimentation, but this is only the second starter I've ever made. You can do it too. Still not quite as thick as I like it, and honestly, this is more than I like to keep in my jar usually. I try not to waste bread flour because, like I said at the beginning, groceries are getting more expensive. I have more success when it slowly drips off the spatula like that. I still might add a little tiny bit more, but not much at this point. That is more of the consistency where it slowly drips off the spatula back into the jar. It doesn't stick and stay put to where it's so thick that it won't move, but it slowly drips back down. And then I scrape my jar as clean as I can possibly get it. I'm just going to take your lid. If you have like a regular jar, you're just going to set that flat piece on top. That will work fine. You can take a rag and a rubber band or a napkin, a coffee filter and a rubber band. Just put that over the top. But you want to mark it somehow with where it's in the jar. The starter goes up to approximately there. So I'm going to put the bottom of the band lined up with where it is. That way I know if it grows. Sometimes it's too cold on my counter, so I've gotten to where I put it in the microwave. I used to put it in the oven with the light on because that made it really active. It warmed it up nicely, but one time my husband went to cook dinner and preheated the oven with it inside. I managed to save it and make several loaves of bread after that still, but it was not a good time. I cried that day. I'm just going to go ahead and set this in the microwave. Come back tomorrow for day 2 where I show you how to discard it and feed it. And I don't know exactly how many days this will take. Last time it took me like 18 or 19 days. Hopefully it won't take it this long. I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks that I've learned to keep my starter active and like different things that I've just picked up the last time I made a starter. And I'm going to go ahead and try to think of a name for this, but if you guys have any suggestions for my starter's name, leave it down in the comments.